What's going on, everybody? It is your humble live stream host. Till I'm back with another stream. Give us 1 second. Checking on the stream here. Give some people some time to trickle in. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Cool. Just had to check. Always got to check. How you doing, Healing? How you doing, Peggy? I'm good. I'm good. How y'all doing? What's up with y'all? Angela, world's best moderator, checking in. We also got Daniel, Kevin, Monkey, tuning in with power. Yes. We're going to talk about power today. You'll see from the title. And maybe the title doesn't make sense, but we're going to break it down. How you doing, Traveling Light? Lee checking in early. Okay. Good to see that. Good to see you, Luke. Lee, we got OJ checking in. All right. What's up? How you doing? Figured I would come on a little earlier today. It's a little earlier than, usually I do it a couple hour or so later. But let's get a little earlier, see what people are doing. Spiritual Nomad Life, good to see you. You're on the way to Myrtle Beach right now. Nice. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing good. It's been a minute. Yeah. How you doing? Good to see you. Going down to MB. Okay. Enjoy yourself. I didn't get to the beach this year. It's funny. I'm almost glad I missed it this year because I'm super excited about going next year, like January, February of next year. So I'm super excited about it. So like sometimes I have to make myself not do something so that I get really excited about it. I have to make myself wait. But have fun at the beach. Appreciate y'all who've already hit the like button. Thank y'all. Locks checking in early. I'm good. Had a really good day. Got up. I did my I listened to my audiobook today. I meditated, went for a walk. Went down there to the TJ Maxx. You see it. Crisp. Went down there to the TJ Maxx. Famous footwear. Spent a little money. Then had some good bourbon chicken for lunch. So yeah, a good day. Having a good day. Did some investing research. Like a really grown man day, like a real grown up day. How you doing, Bella? I also got MH2468. Sweden and the Belgium. What up, Maha? It's 2306 there, and what's that? 1106. Dang, it's nighttime over there. Damn near midnight. Just got some wings in the oven. Okay, meow. Sounds good. So where's my water? I didn't bring my water. I didn't get my water. How you doing, Carol? Good to see you too. Comedy checking in early. Nothing wrong with that. Get in early. So you get in early, you get the real topic. Everybody else comes in later and they have to be like, what are we talking about? Hour later, what did I miss? You come in early, you get it. So today we're talking about, and yet here we are. And that was a title that popped in my head when I was listening to something or thinking about something. I do a lot of that. And it's funny when we look at the past, a lot of times we think about it, we put kind of a negative lens or a negative skew. It's what I'm trying to say. When we look at things we've gone through in the past, we look at our lives in the past, a lot of times we look at it from like a negative point of view. And we say, I went through all this, I did all this, that means I'm a bad person, something's wrong with me, I can't do nothing in the future. Right? We do a lot of that. We look at the past either from the standpoint of like, oh, I should have done better, or like, oh, I did this, woe is me, I'm a piece of crap, blah, 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 blah. I think we should look at the past instead as like, look at everything I've been through. Look at everything life has thrown at me. Look at all the people who've tried to stop me. You know what I mean? Look at all the obstacles. Look at all the lessons I had to learn. You know what I mean? And yet here we are. Right? You know what I mean? If you just think about, like, look at the past and just think about like all the stuff you've been through, all the obstacles, all the hurdles, all the hating, you know what I mean? Just all the whatever. And yet here we are. We're 2025. We're still here. Why can I not talk today? 2025. We're still here. We're still fighting. And that should give us encouragement to keep fighting for 2026, 2030, 2025. I don't know. These times we're going through now, I feel like it just seems like we're being hit. I think a lot of the technological advances we're seeing that we've never seen before is really messing with people. And then a lot of the other stuff that's happening that maybe people haven't seen happen, or it's been a while since they happened, feels like we're in a time period where like a lot of people are just like giving up, or they're at that point of like, this is the worst the world's ever been. I don't know if we can make it. I don't know if we can, what's going to happen. A lot of people are very pessimistic right now. And I'm like, but look back at all the stuff we've already been through, the stuff you've been through, the stuff I've been through, and we're still here. We're still here to have to navigate the 2025 stuff. So that just lets me believe that, like, we have the power. Remember, I said we're going to talk about power. We have the power to navigate whatever's happening now, bro. We've done this on some level. Hey, cord cutter coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad said, Sir Tim Ward, salute, salute. Thank you, thank you. We're still here. They tried to tell us we couldn't. They tried to tell us we weren't good enough. We weren't tall enough. We weren't skinny enough. We weren't big enough. We weren't pretty enough. We weren't that. And yet we're still here, bro. Fighting the good fight, living our life. None of it stopped. None of it has stopped us. We're still here. Why will any of this other stuff stop us? We can just decide, like, no matter what happens, I'm just going to keep going, which at the end of the day, you have to keep going. Short of you taking that one really drastic step that we won't even mention, you always keep going in life. Even when you hear people say, man, I just can't, I can't do it. They end up doing it. Like you can't stop. As long as you're alive, you have to, like, you can't stop, you know what I mean? And that's what we do. If you look back at times in human history when it was horrible, when it really was some of the worst times ever, people made it through because they had to, right? Like, there's no other alternative. Like, you just keep living until, like, you can't, right? So yeah, I just think we look back at all of it, bro. Like, we're not good. We're not good at looking back and giving ourselves props. When we get through a situation, a lot of times we try to forget about it, or we think about, like, oh, I could have done it better. But it's like, bro, you were like 17 and you went through a horrible situation and you got through it. You know what I mean? Like, you know how powerful you are. Think about all the stuff we went through as kids. Even little stuff like you broke your leg and you were laid up all summer. That's traumatic when you're 12. That's traumatic at any age. But like when you're 12 and you get through it, just so many different things. So many just huge, big, life altering things we've all been through, but we're still here. We're still here. We're still fighting. That's what we're going to be saying 10 years from now about the time period now. They can't do nothing with us. They can't stop us. They can derail us. They can divert us. They can make it harder. They can put up some obstacles. They can put up some spike strips, try to put the roadblocks up, but they can't stop us, bro. We're here. And as long as you're living, you're living. You're like, we're doing it. I just see and I understand it, I just see the hopelessness in a lot of people. And which each passing day, something else like reaffirms the hopelessness. And it's just like, yeah, we've never seen this combination of things before. But like, we've seen hard times before, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Some of this is regular. Some of this is regular. But just when you combine it with other stuff, it seems crazy. But like, some of this is regular. A lot of us have seen high prices before. Some people older than me, they like, this ain't even the worst inflation's been, bro. Little stuff like that. Like, when you think about it in the context of like history, I mean, when you think about it from the macro, from like humanity level, humanity's been through a lot and we're still here, right? We have the capacity to like blow ourselves up like 100 times over, and we haven't done it. We're still here. Despite all the things we've done to each other and can do to each other, we're still here. We're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. We got about 40, 50 years of this left. So we might as well just like embrace it and run with it, man. What else can we do? What else can we do? And there's no need while we're continuing on to like be down about it constantly and just bemoan it. Just, oh, nah, it's like, what's the point? If I got to live through this time period, I don't want to spend all my time talking about how bad this time period is. Like, if I got to be here right now, I want to focus on the good right now. You know what I mean? That would be like, it's like if you go into a room and you got to like wait in a room for, say you're going to the doctor and it's going to be like an hour wait in the waiting room or something. Um, and one of your friends is in there. You're going to go over there and sit by your friend, right? And talk. And before you know it, that hour will be up, right? That's what we do. So why, you know what I mean? Like what a lot of people do now when they're in like tough times and all they do is focus on the tough times would be like going in that waiting room, seeing one of your friends over there and be like, nah, I'm gonna go sit with this person over here who's a horrible, nasty person for this whole hour. Like, why would you do that? That's what we're doing. We're living in these times, and in these times, there's beautiful, amazing, awesome stuff going on. But instead of focusing on that, we go over here and just focus on the negative. We go over here and sit with the negative people. We go over here and sit with the a-holes, with the haters, and just the whole time we're waiting, just like miserable. Why not go over there and sit with your friend? That's how I see life is like, and people say it's being unrealistic. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not making up enjoyment. I'm not making up happiness. Like it's still out there. I'm not making up beauty. It's there. I'm just choosing to focus on that. I don't understand. Why we want to focus on the negative all the time? Go sit with your friends. Do things to make you happy. Like it's okay. Like it doesn't change anything. It does not change anything other than how you get through this life, what you focus on. You know what I mean? And now it does change things from the standpoint of what you put out, you attract. But like it doesn't change the world. Well, I don't know. Hold on. From one standpoint, from one standpoint, it does change things. I think. But from another, like it's not. When people are like, well, you're not living reality. I'm like, bro, reality is what it is. I can shape my reality, but currently, right now, it is what it is. The things I do now can change things in the future. But right now, it is what it is. So why choose to focus on this over here as opposed to like that over there, which you enjoy, which you appreciate. Appreciate you hitting the like button. Thank you. Let me check these comments real quick. I'm gonna be in the comments a little more this time. Hey, spiritual, glad to hear you're energized. Thank you, looking Chris. Thank you. Yeah, Kevin. There's I was something I was listening to today, and they were saying that there's always room at the top. Um, I was talking with a friend of mine about like my profession, hospitality, and yeah, we were just talking about like the higher you go, the more they seem to be hiring. The higher you go, the more they seem to be hiring, which is ironic. But yeah, man, like it's yeah, yeah. Like don't let like anyone else's thoughts on something determine. Like if you want to you want to change careers and you want a high paying job, go after that. Like why would you not? Just because some other people didn't get the high paying job they want, well, they're not you. You know what I mean? What up, Nick? How you doing? TJ checking in. Crystal said, "Keep going." My middle name sometimes is best to help fit. I got you. Got you. What up, John? Hello, Jada. God is checking in. Fernando, we've been here. We've been here. I'm glad you get a chance to check back in. Yeah, here's the thing, Slopdog TV. We've had mutually assured destruction for decades now, and it hasn't happened, and it probably will never happen. I personally think it won't happen because if we blew ourselves up, we'd probably like blow the planet up too. Like the planet Earth is an organism in itself, and I don't think it's going to allow us to like blow it up. It's not in the universe's plan for us to nuclearly vaporize the Earth. That's why we can't do it. That's why we haven't done it. I think there are some things we have the capability to do that we'll never do because we haven't been allowed. We won't be allowed to do it. But yeah, we've had those for like we don't. That's one thing. Remember, I was talking about this the other day. We used to worry about that nonstop. Nukes, oh, Cold War. Now we don't even think about it, right? Back when we was super worried about nukes, if you said inflation, people were like, Who cares about prices? We're about to blow each other up." Now nobody cares. We worry about prices. We're about others. We're about terror. You see what I'm saying? It's like it just shows how like what we worry about changes from time to time. There's always something to worry about, so we really don't need to worry. Um, but like all this stuff we've done, all the stuff we've created, we're still here. All the stuff we've been through individually, we're still here, and we're going to be here. It's okay. So if we're going to be here, we might as well like live our lives instead of worrying about will I be here or not. Was not. It's like okay, I'm here. I'm gonna be here for another 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years, depending on how old you are. Let's get the most out of it. Let's stop worrying about being here. You just realize we're here. Some of us, tried our best to not be here and we still here, right? It's like like you said, Nick, like the animals, they don't. Now, I think animals don't worry like us because they don't probably have the mental capacity to worry like we do. I think worry is a byproduct on some level of free will, because if you don't have free will, there's no like we worry because like we think it allows us to affect the outcome because we know we can affect some outcomes. Animals don't have free will, as far as we know. So the concept of making the right decision doesn't occur to them because, but there is something to look into the animals. They don't be worried and like they still get everything taken care of for the most part. A Planeteer, and I respect that. You said I just feel bad for others. I believe things will work out for me, but I don't want to be insensitive to other people's pain. I'm gonna hit you with one, Planeteer. I'm gonna hit you with one, and this isn't coming at you. I feel like there's a little bit of ego there. I feel like there's a little bit of ego in that statement, right? Because you know things will work out for you. Why don't you give that same belief to other people? Right? Why will things work out for you but not for other people? So that's the way I look at it. Um, of course, I feel people's pain, and it bothers. You know what I mean? Like when I see somebody suffer, it hurts. It bothers on some level. It bothers me more because like I know I can take it. When I see other people suffering, I'm like, bruh, it hurts. But I have to realize they can take it too. I have to realize that all the tools I have at my disposal to help me get through, they have too. They live in an abundant universe too. God loves them too. You know what I mean? So like I have to remind myself of like, and not saying you can do it too, but like more it's like, oh, they've got the same benefits as me. They're gonna get through it too. Yeah, of course we hurt when we see other people in pain. But like my thing now is like whenever I see people, maybe someone down on their luck financially or going through something, I see them healthy. I see them prosperous. Instead of being like, oh man, I feel like I say that, but then I'm like, oh, wait a second though. A year from now, this person could be up. They could be living in a two-bedroom condo doing very well. They could be entirely, disease free. They could have got their mental health problem solved. So that's the energy I try to give because that makes me feel better. That makes me feel better, and, like, I feel like they can pick up on that energy too. But if I'm just like, "Oh, man, I feel bad for that person," and like, that's kinda taken away from them the fact that they can change. Like, if I feel like I can change my life, then I know they can change their life too. So, like, just like I don't dwell on my life negatively, I can't dwell on somebody else's life negatively because that's not the right energy. Like I'm trying to send them, you got this, bro. You got this, sis. Just like I can do it, you can do. You're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You're gonna do it. Why would I assume other people aren't gonna do it when I know I'm gonna do it? They're gonna do it too. Let's get it. We all gonna do it. Let's go. Hey, Kevin, I'm putting out a prediction now. Trade schools. I was watching a video. Morning Brew. I think trade schools are up like enrollment in trade schools is up like 4.6%, while college I think is down like 0.9% or something. You're going to see that trend just keep. Trade school is going to be the thing. Trade school is going to be the thing. And then trades aren't going to be the thing 10 years from now because everybody's going to be a plumber and electrician. But trade schools is about to, if you can invest in good trade school, you'll make some money. Because yeah, trade schools is where everybody's about to start going. No more taxes on tips and overtime. Is that true? I didn't see that. I have to look that up. Interesting. How do you work on not saying mean things when you're upset? I think by catching yourself every time you say something mean when you're upset, and reminding yourself you're working on that. Like it. There's no way to do it other than to. There's no way to work on it other than working on it, right? So like every time you catch yourself saying something, I'm not trying to do that no more. Hey, bro. Like whereas before, like here's what happens. A lot of times we have behaviors that before we just did and it was what it was. When we start to work on it, um, it starts to bother us that we're doing it. So if you catch yourself saying something mean, apologize. Maybe before you just said it, whatever. No, hey, bro, I'm sorry. I'm working on that. Catch yourself mid sentence. Man, you still, hey, my bad. Bro, I'm not, you know what I mean? Just like every time it pops up that like I'm working on this, verbal, like say it. Hey, I'm working on this. That's not me no more. Ba 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 ba. Just like every single time, make sure you do something to remind yourself this isn't okay. Because like if you've been doing something for 20 years, you're gonna keep doing it. You can't stop on a dime, whatever it is. But it's the not making it's become a habit a lot of times. The only way to break the habit is to just like keep reminding ourselves this isn't what we do. And I think over time, you'll find that like you start catching yourself quicker. Oh, I'm not, like, or as soon as you say, like, oh man, I didn't mean to say that. Like then eventually get to the point you don't say it. You be about to say it. You be about to get mean, and then it's like, nah, bro, it's not even, But I think it's just you just have to keep working on it until you've worked on it enough that like you've kind of rewired your brain to just like, oh, we don't say mean things anymore. And then the day will come when you'll find somebody younger than you, and you'll be like, yeah, I used to say mean things when I was upset. Let me tell you how I worked on it. It just won't be you no more, you know. But like we have to rewire our brain, I think. Savannah G, what up? Trying to get your coins up, Victor. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's go. Hey, Chris Al got to Yellowstone. Nice, 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 nice. You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad the videos could help with the process. Enjoy your summer. Layla, you passed the initial interview. Okay, second interview Friday morning. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Hey, you don't even need the luck. You got the job. If that job's meant for you, you got it. You got it. You can breeze through that second interview. I medals. Not too personal question. Nah, I didn't see my life go downhill after high school. Nah, like nah, my life was chilling. I didn't dread being an adult. No, no, personally. Um, I just started working, and then that led to working and partying, and so no, for me, no, there was no. I mean, I don't think I really even considered like the transition. I just, you know, I knew I wasn't going to go to college because at the time, I was a little arrogant. Imagine that. But I was like, I'm too smart to go to college. I mean, what I meant by that, what I meant by that was like, I think I can figure. I didn't want to go to college, and I was like, I think I can figure out a way to support myself without going to college. And I was right. But arrogant Tim at the time was like, I'm too. I told my therapist that one time. I was in the mental hospital because your boy had tried to unalive himself again. And they have you talk to the therapist. And this is how cocky I was back then. Like, because this was the guy who determined when I could get out. He determined when I could go home. And instead of just being in there and being like, positive, happy words, he's like, so you been to college? I'm like, no. He's like, you gonna go to college? I'm like, I'm too smart to go to college. He was looking at me like he's probably like one more week. You know what I mean? Like this dude he's like a successful therapist, or whatever. He's probably to college like 8 years. I'm like, I was too smart to go to college. He probably, but you're in here anyway. But no, for me, even though I did have some setbacks like that, um, for the most part, it was, I think I just transitioned. I just started working. Yeah. Have you do you dread being an adult? Is that what you're asking? Is that something you've been struggling with? Hey, Lakers said how to not stress about the job market as a new grad. Feels impossible to not think about it so much. Yeah, I think it is hard to not think about something when everybody's talking about it. That's why I'm a big believer in like not tuning in. You know, um, and sometimes you're not tuned in, but people just won't shut up about it. So I get it. Uh, Here's the thing, though: you don't need a good job market. You just need a job. You just need a good job. One, one. I would recommend this. Google how many jobs there are in the United States. Then Google how many jobs are open. I know you can Google it and find the stats out because I did it. Um, but just Google how many jobs are. Then Google how many open jobs are last time they did the census. You know, there's jobs. You just need one. If there's 136 million jobs in America, you just need one. The job market really doesn't dictate whether you'll find a job or not. Here's the thing. We all know, for example, here's a saying that no one thinks about. It's who you know. A lot of life is who you know. You might just happen to know somebody who knows somebody who's got a job and they're like, "Oh, hire Lakers." Okay. Or maybe that's your goal. Maybe that's your action step. Hey, instead of me just sitting around worried about the job market, which I can't influence the job market, I can influence like who I get in front of. Maybe say, hey, I'm just gonna start networking like crazy. Anytime I meet somebody, hey, how's it going? I'm with, hey, I just graduated, thinking about doing so and so, boom, 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 boom. If you know anybody, let them know. That's what I do. Oh, here's my resume, my CV, my resume. You know what I mean? Like you say, hey, I'm just gonna get out here and network. I'm just gonna promote myself. That's the action step. While everybody else is just sitting back worried about the job market. It's like, man, I just need a job that pays me whatever you've decided you want to get paid. It's not within outside the realm of possibility that you can find a job making 90K a year or 70K, whatever you're trying to make. You just need one job. And like when that becomes our focus, we're not as worried about the job market because that really, like people worry about the economy. Like I don't care about the economy. I care when I go down to buy my chicken wings. If the price of my chicken wings has gone up, that influences me personally. Like the economy is too big. The job market is too big. I can't worry about the whole economy. I can be like, okay, what store has the cheaper chicken wings? I'm gonna go there. So like we can't worry about the whole job market. See, our ancestors didn't worry about, I feel like big macro stuff like this. They worried about the little stuff. Is the butcher shop open today? Is there scurvy? You know what I mean? We worry about these huge concepts that most of them, if you think about it, the media came up with. I promise you, before radio and television, but definitely before newspaper, nobody talked about the job market. You know what I mean? Like it's just like who's hired. You know what I mean? So that would be my answer. Arizona in the building. What up, Kenneth? Son, you worried right now? What you worried about? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How you doing, Birdie? Oh, by the way, I'm drinking. This isn't the kombucha I usually like. Mountain Ginger. Let's go. Over here. Sounds like somebody's like Tinder username. But it was on sale 2 for $5. So we got a little booch. Yeah, this brew doctor. It's okay. It's not as. It's okay. Mountain Ginger. That's. Oh, OJ. You know me. I don't know how much of my content you've consumed, but I'm a firm believer that it all works out. And I don't say that being delusional. I've definitely had my fair share of trials and tribulations. And I'll have my fair share in the future. Um, but it tends to always work out. You know, it doesn't always work out in the manner I planned it. A lot of times it does. A lot of times it works out even better. I was trying to do this over here, and then it did this over here, and I'm like, oh, that was way better when I was trying to do. Or other times it just kind of everything slides into place. It might take 6 months, a year, but suddenly I'm like, oh, this is kind of what I said I wanted to do. So I believe that's true for other people as well. That's why I'm very optimistic about the future. Excuse me, like we'll figure this stuff out. It'll work out. You'll see. You know. Exactly, Layla. We're tougher than we think. We're always tougher than we think we are. Always. I'm just saying, just realize how tough you are, so you don't have to begin it. Worry about it in the beginning. Birdie Hill, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you, thank you. Vibes, we here. Let's go. Oh wait, I jumped way down in the chat. KJ started try trade, start off $20 an hour, beginning plumber. Let's go. Let's go. Sasha, how you doing? Oh, God is okay. Okay, husband just got the CDL. Gonna be a groundman, work his way up. Your dad and brother-in-law are electricians. Tell you, everybody's going to the trades. Mm-hmm. Rick, I do think there are definitely factors unique to the time, but that's always been the case. See, what happens is we look at history from now back, but if you look at history the way they looked at it, that's always been the case, right? And I love to bring up World War One because that was such a massive shift in like the world. They had never seen tanks like metal machines running people over, machine guns that could spit out. They had the Gatling gun before, but like these machine guns were three times as quick as like you could kill 50 people in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Like so many things. Worldwide influenzas, like they'd seen that kind of. But you know what I mean? Like and for them, they were like, this is it. This is crazy. We've never seen something like that. And yes, it did pose more of a challenge, but like that's what we do. Our ancestors back then, they dealt with it. They accepted the challenge. They won. We're still here. We're still, not only are we still here, but we're thriving to the point that we've created new challenges for ourselves. If the people back then could see us now, they'd be like, bro, we came up. We made it. So like that's what's gonna happen this time. Like we always get to a point and think it's something new, it's the worst ever, this time's different, and it is different, but it's the same game. And it'll be the same game until that one time if we're allowed to, humanity does do whatever. I don't think we're there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of meat left on this bone. You know what I mean? Maybe 100, 500 years from now, 1,000 years from now, maybe never. Maybe humanity's on this planet to the planet no more. But like it's always that. This is different though. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's insurmountable. AI is not going to be the end of it all. Tariffs are not going to be like no, no. It's we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We adapt. We get through. That's what we do. I'm sure all the other life forms on this planet don't really rock with us, but they gotta admit, like these humans, say what you want about these humans, they've adapted. So many times we thought they were gone. They've done it now, they're gone, and they just don't go anywhere. The other life forms are waiting. But this is what we do. We're in our bag right now. Like we're in our bag right now. You hit us with like just adversity and just like change and all this craziness. We adapt, bro. And we come out the other side and thrive. It's what we do. It's what we do. You know? You think old school mom and pop farming might come back? That'd be awesome, Vera. That'd be awesome. I think we need that. Shahid, how you doing? Hey, thanks, Slop Dog. I love that name, by the way, Slop Dog. Rewiring the brain is everything, KMC. That's the game, man. Like you and we all have control over the rewiring process of our own brain. Actually, we have a little bit of control over the rewiring process of other people's brains. This is what we're trying to do here. You know, if we learn something and then go and share it with somebody else, we can help them in their rewiring process. Powerful, man. It's powerful. Oh, Alfonso. They right here. They right here. They right here. We don't go nowhere without Gratitude Gorilla. Alvin, my first job was at a plant nursery down in Georgia. Stone Mountain, Georgia. You know, and I think I was 18 because I was in work steady. My birthday, most people graduate at 18. I graduated at 19. So my senior year, I think most of it I was 18, and I was in work steady my senior year. So I get out of school at like 12:30. Mom would come pick me up, take me home. I change, and it's like she'd come back in like an hour, drop me off at my job. So yeah, it was a plant nursery. It's pretty cool job. A lot of my friends worked up there, or a lot of my schoolmates, and we kind of became friends. But yeah, we all worked up at the plant nursery. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I ended up staying there after I graduated, like for a while, and then going to work at a couple other ones, the same company, different nurseries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I appreciate the comments. Yeah, we had a tough time. With the I'm way behind in the comments, so I'm just getting to the comments where I talked about the psych ward. But yeah, man, we went through it. We went through that and came out the other side. Um, hey, it was we got some stories. It wasn't just once. It was Baker acted your boy all the time. You know, hey, great uncle. Sorry to hear you got laid off, but cashed out your 401k. Still here, still standing. I appreciate that attitude. Like that's how we have to look at it, I think, or the best way to look at it. Because you can look at things however you want in life. There's no rules, but the best way to look is, hey, like blessed to have had that 401k to cash out, so I can still make moves, and then I'm just going to use that money, figure things out, and 2 3 years from now, I might be better off than I was down there at the Amazon. You don't know. You know what I mean? How you doing, AJ? Bam Bam. Jordan Green put you onto the channel. Oh, appreciate that. Shout out to Jordan. Thank you. Anyone getting into trading meme coins? Hey, it's an option. It's an option. Nothing lasts forever. Exactly. Adifa, not even the bad times. Let's go. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all get it. JF, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you. Favorite seasonal job locations for fall, winter. JF, I don't do favorites. And honestly, I've only worked two places during the winter. So I think I've only worked Estes Park, the YMCA of the Rockies in Estes Park, and Big Sky Resort in Big Sky um, during the winter. Maybe. Oh, and I worked the Grand Canyon during the winter. Grand Canyon is cool in the winter. All those places were decent, but I don't like to pick favorites. Yeah, I don't, yeah, I just kind of I'll mention places I've been, and then I kind of let people decide for themselves. Hey, spiritual nomad life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Super Chat Squad said you have been helping me rewire my brain for years. Nice. I appreciate you and the positive energy and love you. Uh, Ripple out into the universe. Thank you for everything. You are welcome. You are welcome. What is that little thing? I think there's supposed to be a emoji there, and it didn't show me. That's why I stumbled. But hey, love you too. And I'm so glad you've stuck around. And still enjoying the content and still being a part of the community. More importantly, still being a part of the community. Me and Cyan was talking about you a couple months ago, month ago, couple months ago. Yeah, yeah, we were talking about you. So what are you up to? Hope you're doing good. But I think I jumped on your Instagram and I saw you was doing good. So I was like, okay, all right. I seen you posted something. I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. But thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate the love, the continued support. Thank you, thank you. I'll be checking up on you. I'll be I'll be watching. That sounded crazy. Thank you, spiritual nomad. Where are we at in the chat? Where are we at in the chat? Roach Motel, something, something. Bam Bam. I mean, you said if I quit my job, where would I sleep? Well, I mean, you have to figure, you know, respectfully, I think you got to figure all that stuff out. My as Mister Quit Your Job, my job is I'm there for the people who, you know, people are always arguing the other side. Never quit your job. It's a bad job market. Blah blah blah. I'm here to argue the other side. Like if the job is killing you, you probably need to quit. Now it's up to you to figure out how you do it, when you do it, things of that nature. Respectfully, it's not our job to figure that out for you. Our job is just to like put the message out there of like, hey, you can quit your job. This is why I'm always been big on like savings and things of that nature, being debt free. It all comes together. The stuff all comes together. Because like if you're debt free and you've been saving your money up and you're like, hey man, I just got to walk out today, you can do that. And you can stay sleeping in your apartment or your house because you got a year's worth of bill money paid up, saved up. But like, yeah, I don't know, but I just put the message out there. Lee, I feel you about the housing market. I'm with you. I can't wait for it to come down too. I'm why you think I'd be in employee housing, bro? It's crazy out here, but I firmly believe the housing market will come down one day. It's even the experts are like, we think it should have came down by now. Um, that doesn't mean it's never gonna come down. I mean, but I mean, all we can do is figure out ways to pay the rent, or alternative methods of living until it does. Ethan, do you have the ability to relocate? There's still seasonal work out there if you can relocate. Um, but I understand, yeah, if you can, it might be different times. There's less options. Diamante accepted a job offer in the U.S. for working remotely. Be earning good money, but it's a U.S. company. I mean, here's my thing, Diamante, is if you think it's good money, then it's good money. Like if it's good enough money for you to be in Lithuania and ball out, then it's good money. Like, you know. Trevor Fuzz, good question. Says, how do you try to save money when you work seasonally? Yes, I pretty much always save money. It's a you know, I have to pay a big check at tax time, so um, you know, save for that. But just in general, I always save money. So, do you keep track of your daily expenses to live, or just go with the flow? I just go with the flow personally because I always save money. So typically, what I do is you get paid, you pay all the bills. I do my charitable giving. I put money in saving. I pay all the bills. I put some money in savings. I do my charitable giving, and whatever's left, that's what I have to spend. So like, say I had $100 left for the week, I'd only have $100. Like to me, my money in savings is not real. Like Tim don't go into savings unless like it's something major. So like if I got $100 left over after I've done everything I have to do, well then I got $100, right? Like, you know. So if I get paid on Friday and Wednesday comes around and I only got $20 left, well we got $20, you know what I mean? So that's just, and I've been doing that my whole adult life. So you just kind of get used to kind of knowing, you know, some weeks when I got more, I might eat a little better. Well, maybe a little steak. You know what I mean? But like other weeks, it's like, well, I guess we're just gonna be on, fried rice. But for me, yeah, the savings comes out first. It's not like, oh, I do everything, and then if I got money over, I put it in savings. Like, not like the savings is like second. Actually, I forgot to put investing in there. So it's like pay the bills, saving, investing, charitable giving, whatever's left we can work with. So yeah, that's how I do it. Hey, here's the thing, Bocephus. They haven't stopped you. They've detoured you from what it sounds like. but like you still here. You know what I mean? You still here. And that's not to diminish the things you've been through. And it can feel like, man, I'm stopped, bro. You know, hey, here's the thing. You could be on a journey and there's an accident on the interstate and you stopped for 2 hours. The journey's not over, right? As soon as they clear that accident up, I'm getting back to it. It may seem like forever when you stop there, in the Florida heat on I-75, for 2 hours, and there's nothing to look at but trees, and station wagons and SUVs and 18 wheelers in front of you. But the journey's not over, and I feel like that's how life is. Like there may be periods where, like, yeah, there are roadblocks. There may be periods where, like, we're stopped, but like they haven't stopped the journey. Like you're as long as you're still alive. Like, like one of the reasons I love looking at like biographies and autobiographies and people's life stories is because people will tell you about times where like it was over. Like people who are like very successful now, or they're doing major, and almost all of them will have a time in their life where like, oh man, at that I don't know what I was gonna do, da, 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 da. And then they go on to become some of the most like successful, famous, loved people out there. So it's like I think we all go through times like that, sometimes worse than others, understandably. And sometimes it feels like, oh, they got me, I'm done. But you're still alive. Like you don't know 2 years from now, a year from now, you can be in such an amazing situation, or life can take you in a direction that other people will look at you and be like, bro, how do you do it? I need to know. And you go like, man, there was a time they had got me, but they didn't stop me. They stopped me, but they didn't stop me. As soon as the traffic cleared up, I got back to it. Yeah, Kevin, make some videos. Go for it. Go for it. Denver had a tornado. I didn't know that. I have to look that up. Freeman, how you doing? Warzan said, currently on the edge of ending my employment, have a strange feeling of anticipation, as if I'm waiting for something. Any advice? What do you mean, Warzan? Are you leaving a job and you having a anticipation if you're waiting for something good to happen, something bad to happen? I feel like I would need a little more context. Hey, Clint Perry, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. Sorry it took me so long to get down there. I saw the indicator pop up, and I was in my bag. Thank you, Clint. I appreciate the love. Hat to the back. Let's go. Thug and Hippo. Thank you, Clint. I appreciate the love and the continued support. Thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. Thank you, thank you. And this kombucha got me being silly. I love it though. Let's get it. Let's get silly. Little Snow Fairy, how you doing? Good to see you. Ricky checking in as well. Harmony. Goddess watched the movie Sinners yesterday. Oh, I don't think I've seen that. Alvin, your first job was KFC in the back making that chicken. Let's go. Let's get it. Ricky, we definitely do just borrow everything. Like the whole idea of ownership is absurd. Everything is here before we get here, and then when we leave it here. So like we don't own nothing. We just borrow it, bro. Like most of the stuff we own, we don't even have our whole life. Think about one thing you have that you've had your entire life. So even the stuff we own, we just borrow it for a few years or whatever. Then it goes to somebody else or goes somewhere else. Yeah, there's no such thing as like real ownership. You just borrow stuff. You know, easy to be a minimalist when you realize that. Yeah, yeah, Kevin. Yeah, please make that. Please make those videos if that's how you feeling. And then maybe we don't have to be so negative on here about it. I just mess with you, Kevin. You seem like you in your bag today. But yeah, man, we try to keep it a little, uplifting, upbuilding. Yeah, no, we're not trying to, just go on too long about. But I respect your views. So yeah, make the videos. Let us know. But on here we try to keep it a little more, not just on and on and on about Alabama. You know. Hey, good luck to your daughter on the Cool Works. Let's go. KFC number one, only steal his daughter. On the see you raising good kids out there on Cool Works, putting in apps. Good luck. Let's go. So if you're trying to be an advanced medical assistant, equivalent to an LPN, okay, okay, excited, let's go. Hey, see you later, Angela. I appreciate you coming through. Lurking while working. I like that. I like that. That'd be lurking while working. That'd be a funny shirt. I don't know. People might be like, hmm. Uh, I speak one language, English. Yes. Sissy, how you doing? I only speak English. Lonely Girl TV, what up? Clayton and doing your makeup, so you gonna be in lurk mode? Okay, okay. Appreciate you coming through, saying what's up. Getting your face put on. Okay, put together. Okay, okay, okay. Dev, I don't do favorites, but I will say, of course, I'm enjoying watching the Indiana Fever, but the Washington Mystics, I like watching them. Chicago's got an exciting team this year. Um, I'm sure there'll be a couple others that I'm really gonna be into watching, but I think like those three at the moment are the ones. I don't think I've seen them all. I'm watching Dallas too, just 'cause for Page. And there's a couple of the teams that like I can't stand Las Vegas, but I will watch for Dana Evans and Liz Kitley. So there's very few teams. Vegas is probably one that like I don't really like watching. Most of the other ones I'll watch, but probably Indiana, Chicago, and Washington are the three that like when I watch, I want them to win. It gets sticky when they play each other because then like it's hard. But I'm typically like an Indiana fan over any other team. I mean, you got Caitlin Clark, you got Sophie Cunningham, you got Lexi Hull. Like, yeah. So I respect that. I respect that, Kevin. Yeah. I love the passion. I love the passion. I just know how it goes in the chat. Where like, if we start down a certain road, everybody will pick up on that, and then the chat will be filled with nothing but people saying jobs don't pay enough, and the job market is that, and then we're kind of defeating the purpose. Um, you know, Ant Knox, peace. What up? What up, people? BF. Bone says, I'm this close to quit my job because it may make me miss my going on a trip with my sister. That might be the. You never know what that straw is. You never know what that final straw is. When the camel's back just goes, Why the straw that broke the camel's back? Why a camel? Are we putting straw on camels' backs? Maybe it's a biblical reference. Okay, yeah, but hey, Bones, if that's what does it, I don't know. Hey, Nye guy, is that how you pronounce that? Naiji? Thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Thank you. So, Tim, how much are you spending per month in Thailand, Southeast Asia? I'm headed out there in a month. I'm curious. I live a similar lifestyle to yours. Um, I'm back home now. I'm in the States now. I ended up staying like just a little over 3 weeks, I think. Um, and I was writing down all my spending, and then I stopped after about 2 weeks. But I mean, I say on average, I spent like $10 a day on food, and that was me like eating and like getting it delivered. And so for me, I would factor in like $10 a day for food, which is like 300 bucks. And then depending on you know how cheap you want to go at housing, I think I could do it for less than $1,000 a month. I think yeah, easily I could live in Thailand for $1,000 a month or less. Yeah. Because yeah, you could find housing for 600 bucks or less, and then another 300 for food. Maybe 100 left over for because I don't do much. So yeah, like you said, if you live a similar lifestyle, $1,000 and like 12 to 15, you're killing it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, you said 1.5 a month. Yeah, if you got 1,500 a month, you good. You good. And like I said, one of the things I do appreciate about Thailand is there is such variation. I think one of the problems in the States is like you get to a certain floor level and that's it goes no lower. Especially not like safely. There's a certain floor level of what you're gonna pay for rent. There's certain but like in Thailand, there's a lot of variation. You know what I mean? If you want to go super cheap on housing, there's super cheap housing. You know, they got $5 a night hostels. You know, so if you try to go super cheap for a week and only spend $35 for that week in housing, you can do that. You know, or you can go and stay at the $400 a night hotels. Right, you know what I mean. So like, I do like that. There's more variation depending on like what you're trying to spend, or maybe if your income or what you got to spend changes month to month. There's more, there's more options. Seems like in Thailand than maybe in the states. Hey, we're the likes are liking. Um, few more, we'll be at 100. I appreciate that. Thank you. Bones, yeah, that's a fair reason. Like if you like, hey man, I want to go on a trip with my sister, so I may not be able to go on this trip again. I know I can find another job. You know, I'm going on the trip. There's no right or it's there's no rules. Whatever works for you. KJ, I don't know how to cook, so in or out the country, I just order food. So Giselle says trying to make a difficult decision as to whether to stay at a job I'm unhappy with or go for a significantly less paying one. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to what's going to be better for you. If you're like, hey, I'm not happy here, but like I need the coins right now. Or if you're just like, I just want to be happy. I'll deal with making less money. I just want to be happy. You know. Yeah, sometimes those are those two option. Yeah, those would be the hardest ones. Because it's really like, is there a wrong one? Like, how do you know? It's like there might be a wrong one, but I don't know. I will say this though: if the less paying one, you can still pay the bills. Like the one job isn't making you happy. That's why you was looking for another job. But then again, the significantly less paying one may not be the one. You know, you might stay at the job you're at now and be unhappy for a few more months, and then a better job comes along that pays you the same. You know what I mean? So like, you might be like, yeah, you could decide like, yeah, this is the pay is too low. It's just this isn't the one. And that doesn't mean you stay at the job you're at now forever. It just might mean you stay until you find something that's a little better. George White, what up? Good to see you. Good to see you, my brother. I'm doing well, doing well. Can't complain. Any day you can drink some kombucha. It's a good day. Alvin, you like what I live stream outdoors? Yeah, yeah. It's always a fun vibe live streaming outdoors. It is. It is. Hopefully, I can do more of that soon. It's a lot of times just a matter of, you got to find the locations. If you knew how much time I spent. I mean, there's lots of times when I'm going to live stream outside, it just doesn't work. It's too windy. The sun's in the wrong spot. There's too many people. Like it's a thing. So not complaining because I love it, but like, yeah, a lot of it's easier to live stream inside. The Wi-Fi has to be good. The signal has to be good outside. There's a lot that goes into streaming outside. This is why I don't do it as much. That's why when I have my car, I would stream sitting in my car a lot more, right? Because it's easy. You just need to find a place with good signal and the right sun. Which we used to drive around. Oh, the sun's moving. We got to drive around. But yeah, when it's like actually sitting outside, yeah, man, I guess it's more that goes into it. But we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to it. Yeah, Vera. I literally got noticed 4 times in Thailand. In Thailand, across another country, halfway around the world. 4 people came up to me in the 3 weeks I was there and recognized me from YouTube. So yeah, it happens, man. It happens. Usually not that frequently. I'd say usually maybe once every 3, 4 months or something like that. Couple 3 times a year. But yeah, in 3 months I got recognized. 3 weeks I got recognized 4 times. It was crazy. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. Hashtag blessed. BF, it's not hard to cross the road in South. It's actually easier to cross the road in Southeast Asia because you can go whenever you want to. So like you just kind of have to get that mentality of like, oh, I can walk whenever I want. I mean, they do have crossings, with lights and stuff, but like you can just walk whenever you want to. So it's actually easier to cross the road because they're used to people. Even though the driving seems way more chaotic, they're used to people. I think their reflexes are quicker because they're used to people just walking and scooters being everywhere. So they have fast reflexes. So like, yeah, they're not gonna hit you. You can just walk across the road. Yeah, they're not gonna hit you. Here you might get hit. 96 likes. Appreciate that. Thank you. Veg Remedy. I didn't have to. My I paid $57 for a month of travel insurance, but I never had to use it. So I'm not really sure how that works, but I've heard nothing but good things about yeah, healthcare in Thailand. Yeah, I've heard nothing but like good things. I know there's a hospital in Bangkok that's like a world class hospital. So um, I wouldn't have any concern about going to the doctor over there. And there's lots of videos on the internet about people praising it. But yeah, I don't know if you live there long term, how you would. I do know there's like long term travel insurance or whatever, or insurance for nomads. I'm not sure the pricing on that, but yeah, just to go for a month, it was like $57. There was actually a cheaper plan, and I was like, let me go with the middle plan. I was feeling myself. Let me get the silver. You know what I mean? I'm not getting the bronze. Let me get the silver plan. For $57, let me go silver. So yeah, I've heard good things about the medical over there. Hey, George, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Got a job working for a lawyer. Let's go. Let's go. Glad you're loving it. Let's go. Let's go. Firm fan. Savion doing some deep meditation. Loving it. Loving it. Loving it. Yeah, I did my meditating this morning too. I'm happy. I'm happy. Marie, I understand it could feel that way. But the divine doesn't hate. Um, in my opinion. M- the scriptures say God is love. All the holy books say God is love. So um I think from a human standpoint, we look at it as like, okay, if I'm trying to do something and it's not working, someone hates me. But like, remember when you was a kid and like you wanted a toy or something, and like your parents didn't buy it for you, and you got mad at them? It wasn't because your parents hated you. It might have been because they were just waiting to give it to you later. Maybe they didn't have the money, or maybe they had a plan. Oh, I'm gonna wait until so and so, ba 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 ba. When I get my bonus, I'm gonna get that. You know what I mean? Like people, like the divine has plans, right? Um, so if it's something that like the universe, God, the divine is like gonna play a major role in us getting, it's gonna come in divine timing. I would much rather get it when the divine wants to give it to me than when I think I need it. You know what I mean? So my advice would be like, just keep manifesting. You know, maybe patience is what the gift the divine is going to give you first. Right? He's like, all right, I would give you the gift of patience, and then I'm gonna give you all this stuff you wanted, right? Because I mean, so I firmly believe. I know for me, there's been things I had to go through first, and I had to like get first before I could get what I was. There's some things I'm manifesting now, that I know it's because like there's some things I need to get first. For example, the whole like relationship, life partner. I'm pretty sure there's some things. The reason that blessing has been kind of held for me, part of it's me, but all of it's me. I think there's some things I got to go through first. There's some things I got to pick up first before I can pick that blessing up. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a video game where like you have to find certain things. Like, oh, before you can open that door, you got to find this key, and then you need the engineer's access card, and then you need the enlightened key of da 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 da. You got to pick up all these things, do all these quests, then you can open the door. I feel like it's like that with like our manifestations. Is like some of them will come pretty easy, but other ones is like, oh, I got you, but you got to do this, this, and this. Then when I give it to you, you can really appreciate it. Iris, how you doing? King D said, Tim, my guy. Cheers. Kombucha cheers. Ain't nobody broke around here healing. That's my new one. I used to say everybody ain't broke, but that implied some people were broke. So we're changing it to ain't nobody broke around here. Nope, nope. Yeah, Jada, you got to travel that. Excuse me, I'm about to say you got to travel that Google insurance. You got to Google that travel insurance. I think I use Alliance because if you when you book through Delta, that's the company they use. And I was like, well, why don't I just get it myself? I love you, Delta. I'm a shareholder, but I'm gonna get it myself. Um, so yeah, ALLIANZ. But yeah, man, you got to look into travel insurance. This is the thing. Divine timing, Jada. Jada Marie. Exact. George is preaching. George is talking. Waiting 6 months for a good job. Then it just out of nowhere it just came together. Someone tagged you 2 days later. You got a job. A job you don't deserve. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. George is my brother. I'm messing with him. You deserve it. You deserve all the good and the blessing that has come to you and that's going to come to you, George. I mean that. Good people. Good people. I mean that. But yeah, that's how it happens. That's how it happens. Just I'm a firm believer that like I know for me, and I've heard other people say it too. Like a lot of the really awesome stuff that happened in life, it's like, well, I honestly didn't. I might have been putting in the work on certain things, but like a lot of the stuff that just kind of works out, it's like I didn't really do that. It just kind of worked out. You know, I think it's important to put in the work whenever we can, but like a lot of stuff, it'll just be something. Let me try this or somebody. Facebook man, something boom, and it falls into place. He's like, I didn't really do that. Now, when you tell your kids the story, you act like you did it. Of course, you got to. Well, I was 6 months pounding the pepper, but a lot of times it just happen. It just be happening. Oh, we hit 100 likes. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Thank y'all. Super like squad. King D said, "I'm rich with the happiness and joy of Jesus Christ." Let's go. Let's go. Oh no, I'm not. I'm back in the States. I'm back. I'm back in America. Y'all know. Back in America. Hey, that's awesome, George. It was exactly what you was praying for. I'm telling you, man. It's prayer, manifestation. It's all like it. These things work. I just. It's funny that like if you told somebody that they would have to, strip half naked and run through the woods every morning at 6 a.m. for an hour, but they could achieve their dreams, they do it. 5:59, they'd be half naked in them woods, shoes off. You know, um, like if you tell us there's something very hard we have to do, especially like physically or whatever, a lot of times we'll do it. But the little simple stuff, which is what like actually leads to us like getting what we want in life, we not as keen to do. Meditate every morning, ugh. Write your dreams down, what? Pray, ugh. You know what I mean? Like it'd be little stuff. It's like, hey, just keep saying it over and over again. You'll probably get it. I'm not doing that. Oh, spend $1,500 on a course, and you'll probably get it. Sure. Where do I sign? I ain't got the money, but I got a credit card. I got mama's credit card. It's just weird. Very hard things we think will get us what we want. But when it's like, bro, like actually this life stuff is not that hard all the time. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's just like you just got to keep asking for it and just believe you're going to get it. And then like one day you get it. People, like, oh, I don't believe in that. That can't be that easy. Why can't it be that easy? Especially when everybody says it's that easy. Or most of the people you talk to who are like happy with their life or got good, they'll tell you like, I don't really do nothing. It just got to, it can't be that easy. I'm gonna listen to 1,000 podcasts. That'll do it. Okay. Fernando about to have dinner. Nice, nice. Chicken and rice. Okay, see you later. Love you too. Hey, King D, man, we hashtag blessed, hashtag blessed. We can't complain, man. Can't complain. You know, you applied for Medi-Cal yesterday, Alvin. Didn't qualify. You make too much money. Nobody broke around here. Nobody broke around here. Alvin can't even get Medi-Cal. I'm assuming that's like California Medicare. Alvin can't even get too much money. They said, "You, bro, look at these checks. What? Too much money. Nobody broke around here. I don't know about other communities, other channels. Nobody's broke around here. Can't even get government assistance. Too much money. You gotta start spending some of that money out." They looked at that savings account. They said, "Nah, nah, bro, you sitting on too many stacks." Mm-mm, mm-mm. Oh, you used the F doctor used the lines. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah. I love that, George. Don't put a limit on God when you ask for His blessing. That which created all. If you believe in the universe, that which contains all doesn't have the power to give us a new car when we need one. A car is just a bunch of, I'll say metal. Sidebar. Somebody said pedal to the metal the other day. And I was like, oh, for the kids now, I don't know if they get that reference because cars are plastic. Um, Times change. They're like, what metal? What are you talking about? Anyway, like I was saying, you know, car's about to break down. You need a new one. That's beyond the realm of God or the universe's power. When the car is just a bunch of plastic put together by humans, like stop. A little petrol, a little gasoline. I don't know. Thailand Country Boy School was a vibe. It was a vibe. I came back a little early because it was very hot, and honestly, I didn't have anything to do. After about 3 weeks, I was like, I'm good. But it was a vibe. It was a vibe. Excuse me. Slim tonight had two kick-ass interviews. Let's go. Nobody broke around here, George. I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep saying that. That's my new thing. And we're gonna notice how the abundance of a financial nature in all of our lives starts to go up. Look at Lonely Girl TV. She up. I mean, I think she's always been up, but she up now. All kinds of business ventures, right? It's the community. it's, the, it's, the, it's the community, bro. Yeah, no, nobody broke around here, bro. You working for lawyers, George. What are we talking about? You got a job with a lawyer. Come on, man. We here. I agree, BF. You know, like the problem with manifesting is like when other people say it doesn't work, you don't get to peer into their lives and see how they were using it. So a lot of people will try to manifest for like 2 days and they'll be like, it don't work. Or a lot of people just because of beliefs they have can't believe it works, you know? So a lot of people never try it and give it a bad rap. Other people do it sparingly and then wonder why it only works sparingly. And then like it don't work. And it's like left like if we just follow the natural programming we're given in this society, you won't believe manifestation works because you're told, oh, you have to work very, 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 very hard and maybe you'll make it. And if you don't make it, you weren't working hard enough, because that's how they keep you exhausted, rat raced out, broke. Um, so like when someone comes along and is like, hey, actually, you don't really have to work that hard. You got to put in some work. And sometimes that will be hard work, but like, you can just stay focused on something and a lot of times you'll get it. It's hard for us to believe that because we've been taught like that. It can't be that easy. If it was that easy, why doesn't everybody do it? Because people won't do it. You know, there's a reason why like so many people talk about manifesting and manifestation and focus and prayer who are getting no money out of it because it worked. Now there are a ton of people who talk about it who make lots of money out of it, but like that's fine too. But a lot of the people they got no skin in the game. They just want to tell you about things that work for them, because they have an amazing life now. And they're like, hey, bro, if you want some of this amazement, just focus, manifest it, pray about it, and just keep doing it and believe in it, and you'll get it, you know? Hey, Sunshine, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm not saying where I'm at. Not a big secret. I'm just currently not saying. Sometimes I have reasons. That usually later I'll come back and be like, oh, remember last month when I wasn't saying where I was at? This is why. Um, but yeah, I'm currently not saying. Like I said, no big deal. It's just I'd rather not right now. Um, Thank you, F Doc. I love that. I don't participate in the recession. This is what I'm saying. This is what, like, I hear so many people say this. We might. I was watching a video about dividend, a podcast about like dividend investing yesterday. And the lady kept saying, we might be in a recession, we might not be, who knows? I'm like, well, why do you keep talking about it? You know, everybody's the possible recession. Maybe I'm like, if you don't know for a fact, shut up about it. It'd be like you go to the doctor and she keep talking about possibility, the possible cancer. Like, ma'am, until I got something, don't tell me about it. Right? Like, why do you keep bringing up something that I may or may not like, I don't know. We don't know what it is, but we can't rule out scoliosis. Like, what are you talking? Like, until you know, don't tell me. Like, you know what I mean? Um, so like and we get so wrapped up in it. Nobody knows if we're in a recession or not, but whenever someone says that, people think we are. That's what I'm saying. There's no recession in my reality, bro. Sometimes chicken wings cost more. Sometimes you got to pay more. Sometimes I'm down, right? Ain't nobody broke around here. But sometimes my coins are a little lower. But like you just get back to it. All I can do is try to get myself um in all aspects of my life to like comfortable. That's the game no matter what. So it doesn't matter. My bills is my bills. The things I'm trying to do is the things I'm trying to do. It doesn't matter what the economy's like. What does that matter? It just gets you all worked up for no reason. Like if you never heard the word recession in your life, would you be worse off or better off? That's why I look at it. If I had never heard of this concept, would I be worse off or better off? And I think we'd be better off if people would shut up about recession. If we'd never heard of recession, you'd say, "Oh well, sometimes things happen. Money's a little tighter, or whatever." But like you come up with the idea of like a recession, and then people get scared, and then it influences like what they do. And a lot of times, the economists will tell you this: the talk about recession, and people thinking about recession leads to recession. If people had just shut up about recession, we might not have went in one. But everyone thought we were in one, and that led to them doing things and behaviors that put us in one. I'm an F doctor. I don't know what none of this stuff means. I just be, yeah, no, I don't know, yeah, I don't, yeah, I mean, yeah. I would get an apartment again. Yeah, Alvin, I would, if I could, at the right price and the right place. See, I have a thing now where like I have to be surrounded by beauty. Live in a beautiful location around beautiful people with beautiful energy. So like if I'm getting an apartment, it has to be in a beautiful location. So with a fair lease. Yeah, my day's going good, Sunshine. Thank you. Exactly, BF. And glad you appreciate the channel. Thank you. Enjoying the channel. Thank you. That's what like if all you focus on is negative, you're gonna get negative. I'll even take it a step deeper. If all you focus on is negative, even some of the positive that comes back to you, that comes for you to you, you're going to see as negative, or you're not going to see it at all because all you're focusing on is the negative. So you might be getting pitched positivity all day. You're going to see it as negative, or you're not going to see it at all because you're focused on the negative. You're gonna be like, "Who's throwing this stuff at me?" Total positivity getting thrown at you. You're gonna be like, "What? It's you know what I mean?" Or it just whizzes past you. It's all about focus. That's what I'm like. I focus on the positive, which means that a lot of the negativity that gets thrown at me, I don't even see it, or I see it positively. I'm like, yeah, that sucks, but at least so and so, you know what I mean? Or I don't even see it. I don't know. Seems like a better way to live to me. That's all I'm saying. Fact. Sometimes healing. Sometimes that money's in the future. We ain't broke around here. A lot of times it's right here in the present, though. Hey, Charles, I love that. Said, drop my crazy 9 to 5 salary job a month ago just to do my 3 side gigs. So much more happier, to be honest. I don't miss having all that extra money. I'm content. Contentment, contentment. And I have to say that very rarely have I ever met someone who was like, it does happen, but very rarely somebody like, nah, I'm gonna go back and get that money. You know what I mean? Most people's like, nah, I'm chilling, bro. Like, when people are happier, but they're still content and like got a level of comfort, a lot of times they're like, I'm glad to have given up that money, bro. And honestly, if I want that money back, I'll just find a way within one of these hustles out here to get it. Or I'll find another job that I like to get it. Because like just because you give up money at a crazy 9 to 5 doesn't mean the money's gone for good. You can find another way to get that same money. But a lot of times people are like, I'm not worried about it. But yeah, yeah. A lot of times, yeah, I'm just not worried about it. That's awesome, Charles. Glad to hear that. Alabama has a song about that. They didn't know that. I think I've heard that song. I've heard that song, George. What song is that? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I've heard that song. Oh, I see what you're saying. Um, you're trying to quit, but like you keep holding on, like you're waiting for something. Yeah. I think sometimes you just gotta like if you've already decided you gotta quit, you're going to quit. I think sometimes you just gotta pick the day. Um, because I think there's a lot of people in similar situations who like have said they're going to, but they're like kind of waiting for something, and that something may never come. And it just they 5 years from now they're still waiting. So I mean if you're cool still hanging on, but like if you're just really ready to go, then maybe sometimes it's best to just go. Hey, healing, glad to hear you got that chip up off your shoulder. Let's go. Yeah, I think our brains just process the world through the thoughts we give it. So like, yeah, our mind, like we determine that type stuff, you know. It's like a field where you plant seeds. We're planting the seeds in our mind. If there's a empty field and you plant corn, you're gonna get corn. If you plant okra, you're gonna get okra. If you plant, some type of poisonous plant, you're gonna get that. You plant poison ivy, it's gonna be poison ivy. You know what I mean? So our mind is kind of the same way. Like whatever we put in there is what it's gonna give back. It doesn't care. It's got no skin in the game. It just gives it back. So like, yeah, if we're planting like positivity and prosperity thing and abundance, that's what it's gonna show us. Life is gonna be seen through that lens. It's gonna give us that back. But like, yeah, if we're like, yeah, it's just gonna give us back what we give it. What else can it do? Like we're in control. So like it can only give me back what I give it. BF, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. It's a Prince of Positivity. We talking today. Yes, we are talking today. We're talking today. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Super Chat Squad. Thank you, thank you. I like the crown. Yes, yes. Crown. Okay. Slim Night, surrounded by beauty. I'm telling you, folks, you can speak this stuff into existence. Now it's like, man, I want to live my life a certain way. I want this in it, and that's just the way it's gonna be. It's gonna be like, and if you, hey, I'm not. That's the goal. There may be some steps you got to take, some sacrifices you have to make, but like it'll be that. Hey, Corey Cummins, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a chicken wing fun. It's been a while since I was at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, we here, we here, we here. Thank you, Corey Cummins. Good to see you. Hey, we got London Girl TV come through again. Says still finishing my makeup. It's been like it's been like 30 minutes. You don't need that much makeup. I'm not sorry. Was that a I meant that as a compliment. You must be going very detailed. Said, but I just wanted to say you're awesome. Thank you, Lonely Girl TV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. Thank you. Hopefully that didn't come off wrong. Like I'm like, why are you taking so long to do your makeup? We're supposed to leave an hour ago. But I was just saying that, like, as a beautiful woman, you must be getting very detailed with the makeup because I don't think you need 45 minutes worth of makeup. I'm gonna shut up now before I get in trouble. I appreciate. Thank you, Lonely Girl. Thank you, thank you. See, you see how abundant I just mentioned you a few minutes ago. You came through showing love because you that up. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Thank you. I feel bad that like society has put certain pressures on women sometimes that men don't have. You know, we wake up, walk out the house, we don't care. I was going through whenever I travel, I go through all my stuff just to make sure there's nothing crazy in there whenever I fly. Um, and I was going through like my bathroom bag or whatever, my little bag, and I have a comb in there. And I was like, why do I have a comb? I never comb my hair. I was like, I never comb my hair. I don't comb my hair. I don't brush my hair. I'm like, what do I have a comb for? That's how crazy it is for men. Like, okay. Will I ever live stream in portrait mode? I might, because I think they put when you live stream in portrait mode, I think they put it on the short shelf. So I might one day. I might. Neil, I don't believe that people say no positive out no negative, but I don't think it's on the same scale. So it could be true, no positive, no negative, but it could be 80% positive, 20 negative. People try to act like it's equal. The universe could not exist if it was equal negative and positive, in my opinion. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, nothing's negative or positive. So, but like, if there was as much of the things we consider negative as there are positive, like, I don't think the universe could exist the way it is now. Um, so, like, I think that's just another reason for people to think negatively. My thing is this: I just focus on the positive. So even if it was 50% positive, 50% negative, I'm focused on the 50% positive. So I don't care about the 50% negative. But you'll notice people always want to like make you look at the negative. The more positive I am, the more people be like, "Well, what about like, bro? Why do you insist on me being negative?" You know. And here's the thing too. Like, I get what you're saying. Embrace recognize the negative. I low key don't even think I have to do that. There's this ideal that like you have to be like super realistic and you have to like if the negative ain't bothering me, I don't even need to accept it or recognize it. Right? Like, but you got to be a realist. I'm like, I'm a realist. I just focus on the positive. I don't know. Charles said I went on my measly 1 week vacation on the night prior to go back and resign. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Like, hey, by the way, I ain't coming back from vacation. That's great. That's how you do it. Monkey, I think they try to brainwash you to believe that the job you have now is the best you'll ever have, and you can't do any better. It's a fear. And here's the thing too. I think some of them honestly believe that because they've never worked anywhere else either. So like their being your boss might be the best job they ever had because they've only had three. So like they kind of maybe this is the best they on the plantation too. They might be in the house and you might be in the field, but they still gonna be like, "Massa treat us good," because maybe they don't know no better. But I think a lot of them do it. It's control. I've had bosses say like, and it's funny to me because this was like 2016 or something. I remember a boss was like, "Hey, the job market's crazy out there, so like, y'all should be grateful to have this job." And it wasn't a bad job, but I'm like, don't. Nah. When I'm in a leadership role, it's like, hey, I appreciate y'all coming in and and showing up for work every day. And we try to, make a great work environment for you and let us know if there's some areas we can improve. Um, but if you ever feel like this isn't the job for you, please just let me know. And we'll be, if you're a good worker, we'll be sad to see you go. But like, we never want to stand in your way of like your life is deeper than this job. But as long as you want to show up, we gon' pay you a good wage and try to have fun with it. But like try to scare people to stay, that's not a healthy work environment. You know, uncommon. You quit your job, it's your last few days of work. Okay, freedom. In your Mel Gibson voice, freedom. Yeah, 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 Jada. That's and definitely no shade to your mom, but I think a lot of people have that kind of mentality of like, I'm a dying dead anyway, so I might as well just do whatever. And like that's when you see the credit card company executives, they love that. We got her, got him, But like you said, we can run in the opposite direction and just be like, no, I'm not gonna die in debt. In fact, I'm gonna be debt free. And I'm only gonna use my credit like when I want to, or like when it's advantageous to me, or like when I absolutely have to, emergency, something like that. But other than that, I'm gonna be debt free. You know, I'm not gonna have a defeatist attitude about that. I'm not gonna die owing people money. Like I'm not doing it. But yeah, some people don't. I see it different. Warzone. I don't do favorites. I'm really not the person for like specific travel advice and recommendations. I'll tell you why. One of the beauties of travel for me is going places I want to go. Right. Identifying, hey, I would like to go there. Heard a lot about Portland, good and bad. I'm gonna go. And I don't want to take that from other people. You know, so I would much rather, instead of me saying, oh, try this out and you going, I'd much rather you take the time and figure out where you want to go, because you may not like the places I like. I'm boring. I just want to go like eat chicken wings, walk around the park, ride the public transportation. I get excited about getting on the bus, the local bus, till I get on it sometimes, and then it's not as exciting. Portland, I'm looking at you. But those are things that I get excited about. Is it walkable? I'm like, ooh, Minneapolis has a 97 score walkability. Ooh, that's the type of stuff I get excited about when you might be someone who likes to try, different foods, or, different, you're into the restaurants, different stuff. So um, instead of me giving like travel recommendations, I try to give travel motivation and just be like, go, pick a place and go. Because then you're more likely to go somewhere you want to go, and it'll be more enjoyable. Or if you get there and hate it, you can't blame me. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, lonely girl, you was cleaning for the first. That's right. You did say cleaning. I mean, you're right. You did. You did say that. Respect. You did say you was cleaning for the first 20 months. Okay, okay. All right, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Yeah, Warzone. I would just, yeah, follow the live music. You know, things to avoid. I think the same common sense we use in our everyday life in the city we live in is the same common sense you use while traveling. Like, you know, I rarely watch any of those scam videos or things to watch out for. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Adventure Alley. How you doing? How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you. Facts. Good point, Carol. Said your brain is your personal source of social media, so to speak. What you look at on YouTube, IG, Twitter, etc. Exactly what it feeds you. If you focus on positive, your brain gives you positives. Facts. Yeah, like you got your own internal algorithm, and whatever you focus on, just like whatever you look at, Instagram's going to show you more of. Same with our mind. Like whatever we focus on, it's going to give us more. Ooh, you like this? You like negativity? You like doom and gloom? You like depressed and stuff that depresses you? It's going to give you more. And then you're like, why am I so down? Like you can't always. And that's the thing. Like we can't always watch and look at and consume everything we want to. Just like we can't always consume all the foods we want to. He's like, bro, like I love this chocolate cake, but 8 pieces is a bit much. I'm gonna pay for that. You know what I mean? It's the same with like consumption. There like I've been realizing lately, y'all know me as much as I love watching my gameplay, I've been consuming too much of it. And if I'm being honest, a lot of it's violent. Like you don't think about it, but I'm like every game I look at, they shooting somebody for the most part. And I was like, Tim, you watching too much of it, and that's like it's gonna be hard to cut back because I like just sitting for 3 hours watching someone play, you know, um, Atom Fall, or whatever. But Arc Raiders, which is when that comes back out, I may have to watch a little Arc Raiders because that game looked amazing. But you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have to cut back on it because it's just too much of it and too violent. Um, so you have to police yourself, and it's not always easy. Sometimes it's directly, in opposition of what we really want to do. Uh, but if it's not good for us, I would much rather fight the good fight and pull back or stop doing something. And ultimately, long term is better for me than just like short term gratificationing it for the next 5 years and getting nowhere. Yeah, guys got it easy. I'll give it to we got it easy, man. We just walk right about the house looking rough. Still get looked at sometimes. Sometimes we get looked at. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't. Faith over fear. Let's go. What up, Billy? Oh, Andrea. Oh, let's talk about it. So I'm a middle school teacher. I see these kids over the years. Makes me fear for our future. We used to love and believe in the kids. Um, I think about this, and there's no way like you have way more experience with the kids and you've seen it. You're on the ground level. You know way better than me. Um, I sometimes think about the kids in the '60s. Um, what the generation before them thought. Because the '60s they came through and went crazy. You know what I mean? Like they was on a whole different thing. And I imagine those generations before them, like their parents were just like, what is going on? We did not fight a world war for y'all to come and be doing this, but I'm sure they were just like, we don't know what's going to happen. Those kids who were like kids and teenagers and early 20s in the '60s are the baby boomers that we all point our fingers at and be like, they're like the, you know what I mean? You see what they turned into. They turned into the establishment quickly. In the '60s, they were radicals. In the '80s, they were, Republicans. You know what I mean? Like they became that model of just like business and corporations and all the stuff that the kids now don't like. So I wonder if, so that leads me to believe that like what we see right now in young people doesn't always determine what they turn into, for good or bad, however you want to look at it. So looking at the kids now, maybe we're starting to be fearful, but I have hope that 30 years from now, they might have turned into something we can't see right now because we're looking at it from our past viewpoint. This is how kids used to be. This is how they are now. They're going into it fresh, and like what they are now might turn into something amazing 30 years from now. But like we can't see it because it hasn't happened yet. Like maybe they got to go through what they're going through to change some things that our generation didn't get around to change it. That's the way I have to look at it. I got faith. I got hope. How does Tim quit a job he likes versus a job he doesn't like? Does he ever get emotional about it? If I like the job, like I probably will do my 2 weeks. Because yeah, if I'm just leaving, like, hey, I'm deciding to go somewhere else. Yeah, I'm gonna give him my 2 weeks. I'm gonna go in there, hey, blah blah blah. If it's a job I don't like, I get emotional when I leave situations that like I like the people. Yeah, And I'm not gonna lie, there's been times when I quit and I'm trying, to be a better person. But there's been times when I just walked out and I got emotional later, because I was like, man, I probably shouldn't have done that. And maybe there were some people there that I left high and dry that were friends of mine. And, I've got definitely gotten emotional. There's some times in the past where I quit that to this day. I literally was thinking about one of them this morning. It's been years. And I'm like, man, I wish I hadn't done that like that. I wish I hadn't done that. So yeah, there's some emotion sometimes. There's also a lot of times where there's no emotion. Like, it was a job and now it's done. Plateau, a cover letter is not necessary for seasonal work. No, no. I'm trying to think if I ever had someone ask for a cover letter in seasonal work. Um, Typically, me, if someone asks for a cover letter, I just don't, and I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. You see my resume, I'm qualified. If you're like, hey, this guy's super qualified, but he didn't send in a cover letter, I don't want to work for you anyway. Like, stop. But most seasonal places don't ask for one. No. Prayers for your cousin Hampson? Wait a second. What are we praying for? Respectfully, you know. And I think that works better if we can pray, in the direction, good direction. Raid B, how you doing? Jay Cortez checking in. 18 months sober on Friday. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you're able to watch it live, Raid B? Nice. Now, it might be a little late. It's why we try to switch the times up. Let people get in here that sometimes can't get in here. I'm gonna have to do like a morning one. So Sabrina said, always have an extra income stream. That's smart. That's smart. Always, if you can, have your little something else going on. Sometimes some people can't. Their main job keeps them busy. They got other responsibilities. But if you can come up with a little something, bring you a few more coins in, or a lot more coins. Let's do it. Incognito, what up? Jose, what up? Going for your haircut? 2 days away from New York City. Getting that New York City haircut. Oh, you getting that travel cut. Getting that travel cut. Last week it was the birthday cut. This week is the travel cut. Let's go. It's gonna be a great trip. I'm with you. I'm with you. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy. Have fun. Have fun. Oh, you see. I went down there to the TJ Maxx today, Executioner. Had to bust down. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Well, you see got some. I'm trying to see how to show you all the back of the shirt. Got a little something, little picture, a little $9, $10 shirt. You know. Would I pursue a corporate office job? I would, yes, if it was something I was interested in. You know, if it was for a corporation that I liked, and the job was something I was interested in doing, yeah, sure. Like I'm not against anything for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna. I would never do a corporate job. Like I've worked in one of the jobs I enjoyed the most. I worked for internet realty company. I came in, every morning and sat in my cubicle for 8 hours. You know, photoshopping pictures. I worked in like the photo department, but like, yeah, I sat in my cubicle and worked on the computer all day long. Loved it. Loved my sister worked there too. We had fun. Loved it. My boss was cool. There was three of us. The other guy I worked with was cool. Loved it. We got laid off, thanks to the tech bubble. I mean the dot com bubble, the dot bomb. Uh, but I mean, there's like it was a fun job. Nobody bothered us. Bathroom was right there. Lunch was an hour, I think. Good money for the time. So yeah, I don't. I'm not anti-work. I'm not anti anything really. It's just the situation. Jack, I'm currently not saying where I'm at just for personal reasons, but yeah, we back home. We back in the states though. outside sales, and once again, it depends on what it was. Like, if it was janky, no, but, like, if there was a legitimate product that I thought I could I mean, the highest paid job, like, ever is, like, sales. Like, sales has the highest earning potential of every like, this like, th you sell more, you make more, and they're never gonna say, "Stop selling," you know? So, like, sales is, like I think about that all the time, like, I shoulda went into sales, I should just became a car salesman first day out of high school. I'd be a millionaire by now, I promise you. I could sell, or I would learn to. Um, so, yeah, I mean, if there was I thought I could move some product and make some money, and I believed in the product, and I enjoyed, going around selling, actually sounds kinda fun. Get a little Prius again, go around selling, meeting my clients, Yeah, I'm not against anything. It's, I think you miss out on opportunities in life when you close yourself off to certain things beforehand, you know? That's why I'm like, I'm open to all the blessings. I'm living this on this whole prosperity project. We're really tapping in prosperity and abundance, and I have I write down daily some guidelines of the things I want, but I'm not picky about the package in which they come in, you know. So yeah, if I was like, oh hey, you trying to make 150K a year? Here's this sales job where most of our salesmen average that, and you're selling, you know, chicken wings to restaurant. I don't know. I was trying to think of something. I was trying to think of something. Birdie Hill said lots of pressure and high end sales. Well, I would have to find one where there wasn't pressure. And it might not be high end sales. It might be low end sales. I might just sell a lot. I could be selling something that's $50. I just sell 1,000 of them a week. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it would. And once again, see, I don't know. If it was a high pressure, I probably wouldn't take it. So like that's the way I look at things. Like if I'm looking like I'm open to all possibilities, but like it has to fit. So if it was if it was a certain company and they offered me a sales position, it was high pressure, I'd say no. But I also believe that like if that's the way I'm meant to, get to the bag, then I'll be able to find one that's not high pressure. So, you know, uh a lot of the objections people have just about things, I note them, but I'm also like I firmly believe like it's possible to do that thing without that situation being true. Like nothing's written in stone across the board. Hey, see you later, George. Firm fam. Oh, plateau. That's a deep one. That's a deep one. And as someone who has friends who've passed, due to drugs, overdoses, drug abuse. Um, yeah, that's a deep one. I think what you probably have to focus on is that it's at the end of the day, it's not your fault at all, right? And the fact that you said I didn't do enough to save them means you tried. So if someone else is going through something and we're not the cause of it, like if we're not the ones selling them the drugs, or we not the ones who, you know what I mean? And we did try to help them, then we did what we could. And that guilt is probably more grief coming out as guilt than anything else. And I think if we can kind of see that, it's like, oh, I'm really just grieving and I'm trying to find because like you want your friend back. So you're basically saying, oh, if I tried harder, my friend would still be here. You really just want your friend back. Um, it's not. We know we tried. You know what I mean? And I think it's just understanding where that thought is coming from. Um, you tried, and sadly, we can't. No one can do. We can only live our life and try to help other people in theirs. Um, but we can't beat ourselves up for a situation or something that happened that we tried to help, but like ultimately it ended in a way that was very painful to deal with, but like it's not our fault, you know. When I was drinking and ruining my life, nothing nobody could do, so but yeah, I think that's more grief than like really guilt, a lot of times. Hey, thanks, Winter. It's good to be back. Hey, Andrea, I'll say this. The kids probably do have different attention spans and things now. The good news is AI is going to come along and like a lot of this stuff that like they should be retaining, they're not going to need to know. I feel like the solution always presents itself to problem. So like I do think learning is different now because I think low key the kids know. Like we used to say it. Why do I need to know this? Remember when calculators came out and teachers were mad? Like, oh, you can't use a calculator. You need to know how to do it yourself. Why? When was the last time I worked out a math problem? I got a calculator. So I feel like the kids now, it's a different game. Like they don't need to know all the stuff we needed to know. They got AI. Like it's gonna be even less. So maybe I look at that. Like I think yeah, I think teaching is changing. Like learning is changing. I think. Hey, Jose, you've been triggering former friends because of the positivity and optimism. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. Sometimes people don't get it. Sometimes people don't get it. But yeah, you making new friends. So and these friends will like the positivity and optimism because that's all they're gonna know. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes we have to switch up, friends. What if I had to sell the product talking to a large group of people? I mean, these are all hypotheticals. So I guess my main point is like if it was something I enjoyed doing, no matter what it is, like I'm not gonna say no to anything. If like when I tried it, I enjoyed doing it. So like, yeah, if I tried being a marketing or a spokesperson representative and I really liked it, and I was like, oh, I like talking to 50 people, then let's go for it. But like I can't case by case, like until I've tried something, I can't say yes or no. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna be like, I'd never do that, unless I feel like it's morally wrong or illegal. But like I don't know. Like I'm if that's the way my abundance comes to me and I enjoy doing it, let's get it. Plateau, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Plateau. Appreciate that. I think there's lots of science fiction books about that. Like that, Kevin. They kind of slant it. Usually the AI, like it's not a story. If you talk about AI positively, like what would be the who would be the bad guy? You know. So usually, yeah, when there's science fiction about robots and AI, one of the robots or some of the AI has to be bad, even if there's good robots too. Um, so I don't know if there's a story where it's just like, oh, we're totally positive AI saved us. Like, what would be the? I don't know. You should write it anyway, Kevin. Options. What up? What up? What up? What up? Though we here. Um, Andrew, I have faith in like humans. So I think the kids now are going to grow into adults that are just as smart as we are. Whatever that means. I think they're going to be just as intelligent as us and the generations before us. So, will they incorporate AI way more in their lives? I'm sure they will, but I have faith that they'll figure out how to do it, just like we figured out the internet, or we've done an okay job figuring out the internet. I think they'll do that with AI. Hey, yes, I consider myself spiritual. I'm not religious, but I consider myself spiritual. Yes. Julia McCoy just wrote a positive science fiction book. Okay, okay. Baha, I'm with you. I've been saying for years we need to teach more of that type stuff and less like Shakespeare and all. I say Shakespeare every time because never my thing. But like we just teach a lot of stuff that some people appreciate or some people think is important that is not useful for 80% of the other people in the class. I think we should teach stuff that like, yeah, you said manners, conflict resolution, that's useful to everybody. Um, Now, when it comes to manners, that might get sticky because different places have different manners, different regions, different manners. Um, you know, for example, when I was growing up in the South, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I still say that to this day. People look at me like I'm crazy, depending on where I'm at in the country. So manners might be, but yeah, conflict resolution, relationships, parenthood, money management, stuff that benefits everybody. Let's teach the kids that, and then it's less like rote memorization. Like all this stuff that the kids just have to remember something and quote it back. That's stupid. Let's teach them the stuff that, my opinion, let's teach them the stuff that like isn't memorizable, but it's like actual. We sit around in class and discuss stuff. People share opinions. We show examples. Like the tests aren't coloring bubbles in. You know what I mean? Like that. Let's teach them some stuff like that. Jack, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Welcome back. Hey, thank you, Andrew. You're welcome. We here. I've had to let go of family members, friendship. I mean, yeah, my family members kind of let go of me. Some of them because differing beliefs. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I think with friendships, you grow apart from people. And like I always say, when I stopped drinking, I changed up the dynamic of a few of my friendships, and I can't be mad if like other people, it just wasn't what they were looking for anymore. So yeah, over time, I think we all, you pull apart, you grow apart from people, or you change or they change, and it's just not the same friendship anymore. I think this happens in relationships all the time, and that's why this whole happily ever after um, seems a little odd to me. Just like I meet somebody, we're supposed to be together forever. Like, what if we change 10 years from now? Like, why not just be like, okay, we're together for as long as we want to be together, and when it's over, we part ways amicably. Like we part ways. Yeah, that word. You know, you know. I don't know. Yeah, incognito. I agree. Different students learn differently, and honestly, I think this is where AI will be very helpful in teaching because when the kids are young, you run them through the test, you find out how they like to learn, and then you generate an AI program or whatever to teach them in the manner they want to learn. Even if there is also a teacher in the class. Also, it's like, okay, the teacher can only teach like one way. But then when the teacher's lesson is done, everybody goes and sits down at their tablet, and then the AI teacher, which is like tuned into them specifically, maybe it does more, talking, or maybe it shows videos, or maybe it shows pictures, or maybe they're, just like it'll be able to teach kids the way that works best for them. You can even, instead of standardized testing, AI can take the lesson and make 100 different tests. Each kid gets the test that like allows them to, and it'll know because it has the data from, the file. Your personal file will actually mean something now. And so like, you can set up these AI programs that generate tests that like work best for each child. I think yeah, education would be an area I think that AI would be very useful. I think. Pam, no, I'm back in the United States. You trust animals over people? I get it. I get it. I don't have the pet gene, so I don't be around no animals. But I just feel truly blessed that I have some humans in my life I can trust. So, yeah, I, you know, I just don't be around non-trustworthy people. like unless I like at work, unless I have to be. And then I just, I trust the people I trust. Jose using Chat GPT. Let's go. Oh yeah, they'll definitely be good in AI. It's like the internet. For most of us, we see the internet as a positive thing. I think 10 years from now, that's the way AI will be. We'll see it as a positive thing with a few negative, things. Pretty much every invention we come up with that becomes mainstream, that's the way we see it. Electricity, great. Can you get electrocuted? Yes. All the car, great. Can you be in an accident? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like most of the inventions that become mainstream, we work them out to a point where they're beneficial for the most part with a small downside or some downsides that we're tweaking. That's what I think AI will be. These conversations we're having about AI now, we will laugh at. We won't even remember having them. But I never said that. I never said that. Hmm, hmm. Chameleon. If you're afraid of being stuck in the U.S., my first step, I say get your passport, um, and then just start learning about and visiting other countries, and maybe you'll find one that works for you. I say, yeah, get the passport, start taking some trips. I know for me, my first trip was Mexico because it was easy. Jump down to Mexico. If something happens, I need to get back. I can be back in 4 hours. 3 4 hours. But yeah, I would start with the passport, and then once you got your passport, you can go pretty much anywhere you want to. So you can be trapped. You know. Hey Johnny, thank you. Winner, you're not blocked. No, 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 no. Why would you? Why would you think you're blocked? Comedy, yeah. I would love to write a book. It's just a matter of it wouldn't be a novel. Like I don't think I would write nonfiction. Um, yeah, I mean the book thing is something I'm kind of like when it's time to, it's time to. So, but I'd love to write a book. Yeah. How do I deal with annoying upper management? I just try to not interact with them. If I don't have to, I just be, you know, when I have to go to, when I used to have to go to the management meetings, I was very quiet. And not saying that the upper management there was annoying, but I just try not to interact with upper management. That my boss could do that. I just do what she tells me. Yeah, that's the way I am. Like I don't, you know, a lot of people they want to be in the mix with them, and not, they come around. I'm respectful. How you doing, sir? How you doing, ma'am? I don't, if I get to upper management, then I'll interact with upper management. Until then, I don't. I just try to stay out their way. I just want them to see what I'm doing. They don't need to see me. That's one of my big philosophies at work. I want you to see what I'm doing. You just need to see me enough to know I'm there. But we don't really. I want you to just be like, dang, like I don't even be seeing Tim, but his work always gets done. What up, Marv? Uh, F Doctor, I gotta disagree slightly. AI is taking some people's jobs. We can be honest. AI is taking some people's jobs. Every new invention that comes out that simplifies work takes some people's jobs. But I think we will work through all that as we do with everything else. But yeah, there are some jobs that AI is taking because it's just cheaper to have a program do it than a person sitting at a computer only working 4 hours out of the eight. So oh no, Winter, I see you. I see you. Sorry if I missed some of the things you said. I've been trying to get to people. I don't always get to everybody. I've been trying to. Do I think AI will eventually be able to create better versions of itself? I think so. I don't know if that's gonna mean if that needs to be as fearful or as scary as we think it is, but yeah, I think eventually it'll be able to work on itself, update itself. Treasure Maze, I was able to actually, it's telling of the times we live in that, like, that's a question. Um, it just shows, like, how programmed we are to hold on to our possessions. Because, like, decluttering and, like, getting rid of stuff is actually easy. You just have to sell it, throw it away, or donate. You know what I mean? Like the 3Ds: dollars, dumpster, donate. The hard part is like the emotional, right? The attachment we have to stuff. Um, and that's why I say start small. Start with the junk closet, the junk drawer, your side of the garage, um, and just like start with the stuff that like you're not really attached to. Stuff that's been sitting around forever. Throw it away, give it away, sell it, whatever. And then just kind of work your way kind of up through the house, through the apartment. And because there's a lot of things initially, it'll be hard to get rid of. But the more you get rid of stuff, the more you get used to, I think, that feeling of lightness and like freedom and just like, it's a good feeling. And the more you feel that feeling, the easier it makes it to kind of like get rid of some stuff that maybe there is a little attachment to. But you're like, yeah, I kind of like this, but I haven't used it in 5 years. And I know when I get rid of it, every time I walk past this space and see this old TV ain't here no more, I'm gonna like that feeling. So I always say just like start small. Maybe every weekend find some place in your house and just get rid of the stuff you don't like, you don't need no more. The stuff you don't need. Then you can go back through and anything like if there's any resistance to getting rid of stuff, keep it. There's no rules. Um, but then go back through, start all over again, go through the whole house again, one room each weekend, whatever. Um, and I found this stuff that the first time around, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep this." The second time around, I'm like, "Why did I say I was gonna keep this?" Like that attachment starts to break away. Um, and you just keep doing that until then you look up one day, you got nothing, and you're happy. You're ecstatic. You don't even want to buy nothing new. Comedy got to walk in that rain. Let's do it. Let's do it. The last time I went to a foam party was probably, I don't know, 20 years ago? I can't remember the last time I've been to a phone I've been to a phone party, but it's been 20 years ago, maybe? Plateau decluttering at least one thing a day. I like that. I like that. You get rid of things when you're in a bad mood? Interesting. Interesting. Never thought about that. Yeah, yeah, winter. That's why I say, the 3Ds: dollars, dumpster, donate. And for me, that dumpster was the big one. Because yeah, even donating would like what would happen with the donating is I would have like a area in my apartment. So, I'm gonna put everything I'm gonna donate here. And then Saturday would roll around and I wouldn't want to go to Goodwill and it would sit there. And then next Saturday, friends come to town. Stuff would get in the way and it would just sit there. Whereas I'm like, Tim, if you just go throw it in that dumpster, it's done. Instead of it taking 3 weeks for you to do it, you go throw it in the dumpster. It's over right now. Um, and so yeah, a lot or some stuff I just put out by the road free, you know. But yeah, I started to want to have just the easiest path. Like when I decided it was time to go, I just wanted it to go because that way it didn't sit around. I couldn't change my mind. Once it was in the dumpster, it was in the dumpster. Like I ain't crawling in there. So Hey, Pam, I like that. Declutter when my lease was up, move everything through a storage, committed a 6-month plan to either donate, sell, or toss. And then in 6 months, everything was gone. Let's go. And it feels great. You're right. It feels great. We're taught to think that like, oh, if you have less, it'll feel you'll miss it. You don't. You'll feel like less than. No, I'm telling you, you feel better. It's crazy, but like you feel better. You're proud of yourself. You're like, I don't need all this stuff. And I'm saving money. A lot of times you got the money you got from selling it. Like it's better. It's better. Yeah, and I think it's human nature to want a few things, right? And I think getting rid of the things, the outflow makes way for the inflow. That's the way I look at it. So like me getting rid of the excess stuff opens up slots for like the stuff I really want. Because a lot of times we have a lot of stuff we don't really care about or need. It might be taking up a slot for something I really want. So I'm like, I'm just trying to get rid of all the extra, bro. And then like that way I have open slots and money and whatever for the stuff I really want. Because that's what it's about. Like it's not about like not having anything. It's like having the things you really want. And like why would I want anything beyond that? Because like that's why people have garages full of stuff, storage units full of stuff they don't even know. Because we have all this stuff we don't really care about. We don't do nothing with it. So it's just like, why not just get rid of that and just keep the stuff you want, the stuff you care about, the stuff you use, and then you don't have to deal with all this other stuff. Like it's actually pretty simple when you think about it. Yeah, I mean the whole universe is abundant. You know, having more stuff, more possessions, a lot of times isn't abundance because, like you just said, it's just extra. There's a difference between extra and abundance, and a lot of times our lives are just full of extra and excess. You get rid of a lot of that, and you can get to the abundance. And your life might be way more abundant with way less stuff. Or it may open us up to like get more of something where maybe you're a musician and you get rid of all this other stuff. You can buy more musical instruments. You know, and then you can make more music. So yeah, anytime you have like excess in your life, that's not abundance. Abundance comes to you in like the right packaging, the right amount, the right quantities. Um, Excess is just like extra. Like it's almost the opposite of abundance on some way. Yeah, this idea that like we have to fill every room. This idea of having like extra rooms is crazy. Well, if you think about it, living rooms when we never have people over is crazy. Um, but yeah, the idea of like having extra rooms and then like having to fill it with stuff. Like how many people have extra rooms just filled with stuff that never gets used? It could be furniture, but like, so you bought a whole furniture set to sit in this room that nobody ever goes in. There's a bed and tables, everything. Nobody ever comes in here. They're like, yeah, but it's a bedroom. Well, interesting. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Thor 90, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the journey. Glad to have you. Yeah, there are some countries that like don't do living rooms. You know what I mean? We have living rooms. We have a one bedroom apartment with one person, and the living room is bigger than the bedroom. My last apartment, it was a two bedroom. It was a two bedroom. The living room was bigger than like both rooms, or about the same size as both rooms. It was a huge living room. I was like, we need to just rent the living room out to somebody. And like the people who moved in after us, come to find out, that's what they did. That's what they did. They like partitioned off the living room so like three people could live there because it was a huge living room. I'm like, why are we paying money for this huge space and like we don't do anything here? Like it's crazy. Like why was it even built this way? You know, Shout out 2019 living in that two-bedroom apartment. I mean, it's just it's what we do. You know, when you think about it, like wait a second. I mean, yeah, if you can afford it, cool, do what you do. But like, yeah, when we think about it, it's like wait a second. Why do we have all this extra space? Like, what am I actually doing with it? You know, that's a good point, comedy. That like as much as money plays a part in our lives, the fact that two different people can have two different views of it, or eight different people can have eight different views of it, 100 people can have, you know what I mean? It's crazy, you know? Yeah, team up. Now, if you have a living room and you put it to good use, fine. I'm not knocking having space and using it. Um, but these days, most people never, you know, now that we got phones and everybody's got a TV or whatever, who goes in the living room? Maybe like one person. It's like, oh yeah, dad watches the game in the living room. But like it's just I don't know. It's just interesting. When I think about how high rent is, why are we not like if we're not using these spaces, let's let somebody live in that, save some money. That's what I think about. If you got a one bedroom apartment and you're paying $1,700 a month, let somebody live in that living room. Cut that in half. You know what I mean? Let somebody live in it. Hey, Mr. Thorne, you like the 10 Reasons Not Having Kids video? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the kids are I don't see how people do it. Respect to the parents out there. I don't see how they do it. I'm like, where y'all getting this money from? Hey, but ain't nobody broke around here, so I get it. I get it. Dining rooms, nobody eats in the kitchen in there no more. But I do think you'll I think as there's a possibility you'll start to see that change. If housing stays where it's at for a little longer, I think you'll start to see dwellings built, especially for the kids nowadays. I think they won't even when I was a kid, we still ate in the living room. Didn't nobody have no phones, you know. You had to come in the living room to watch the TV. We had one TV. So I just think as those old views start to like go away, I think you might start seeing the housing traditions change as well. You might start seeing living rooms get smaller. Dining rooms start to disappear because like people will be like, well, I don't really like if you was going to build your own house right now. You might not have those rooms. You might, well, let's turn that into this. Maybe bigger kitchen, no dining room. You know, I don't know. They'd be curious to see. Oh, options. You could definitely live in Thailand for $1,700 a month in like a probably a bigger place. If I'm being honest, Ricky, I hear a lot of those kind of statements too. Here's the thing though, depending on who's saying it, they switch out. They're like, "Oh, broke is temporary. Poor is state of mind." Other people will be like, "Poor is temporary. Broke's a state of mind." Both words mean the same thing, so people swip and swap about which one's good, which one's bad, which one's temporary. Ain't nobody broke or poor. I don't care for either one of them. We try to be prosperous and abundant instead of broke abundance instead of poor prosperity. That's what we going for. Because yeah, I mean both those words mean the same thing. So you can come up with whatever clever quote you want. Either way, it yeah, abundance, prosperity. Hmm. Oh, moments. Yeah, I've been on that. You said I recently found out the government gives money to parents whose kids they consider low income. They pay per kid. Oh, I mean, I know a lot of, especially when I was younger. I know a lot of single moms with a lot of kids, and they was always getting checks, especially around tax time. I used to be so jealous. I'm like, how you getting all that money back just because you got kids? Because they'd all go, not all of them, most of them would go. The women I knew would go below it on craziness. Sometimes me, a little bit, But yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that's and I mean, you get more food stamps, more. Yeah, you get way more government assistance the more kids you have. That's why, like, if you got 2 kids, you might as well get three. Get more money. You get three, you might as well get four. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been on that game. Hmm. Jen spent many years living in an office room, save money, nice, while going to school. Don't want anything big, just a studio apartment. Yeah, and I think when you've lived in a smaller space, you realize how little space you need. Um, yeah, and I think once you realize that, you don't want a ton of space because you just be like, what would I do with it? Like, like all I need is my bed here, this there, boom, boom, boom. Minnesota in the building. Oh, Tima said that's over. Oh, okay. I wonder if that's state specific. I don't know. Moments considering moving to Panama. Only got to make 1,000 a month. Okay, okay. But you'd be in Panama. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Shout out to Panama. But it's Panama though. Yeah, I mean, it does honestly, like, it doesn't take much to live. Roof over your head, bed to sleep in, a shower, toilet. Yeah, no, little space. Like, it don't take. Someone will get smart, and they're gonna come up with like micro apartments, and they're gonna build luxury micro apartment because all they build now is luxury. But they're gonna build luxury micro apartments, and it's gonna be like 800 apartments, micro apartments, where there would have been 100 regular apartments, and they're gonna cash in. They'll be like $700 a month. Your own micro apartment. People are gonna eat them up, but they're gonna make way more money because there's gonna be more units. Just wait. Someone will figure it out. Someone will do the math. We can get 800 people to pay $700 instead of 200 people paying 2,000. Someone will do the math. Hmm. Pam, I don't think I would move to Thailand. No, it's cool to go visit, but like I like America. Like I like the states. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll find another country that I would want to move to, stay for a while. But I don't think it'll be Thailand. No. I comedy. I think the way people look at AI is a little because I think the internet caught us by surprise. So like there weren't a ton of movies about the internet being evil before the internet came along. Like we didn't know, they've always been talking about the robots and um, nobody really talked about the internet. The internet just came along, and so there was some fear of it and people saying stuff, but like I don't think it's like AI because we've been pre-programmed to fear the robots and AI. The internet just kind of snuck up on us. You know, we're like, what is this? Mr. Thor, yeah, I do a decent bit of traveling. Yeah, 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 yeah. We be in them streets. Oh, there's no more big tax checks for kids. You don't get no more money. Oh, okay, dang. 70% of your living expenses, your apartment and car payment retired 2019. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But I think that's normal. Like I think they say your housing should be about 30% is what the experts say. I think. So I'd imagine your car should probably be about 10. So if it was like 40, that'd probably be you know normal by the old expert standards. Westerners about having too much freedom and time. What does that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? Moments, too much freedom in Thailand, and I feel like a lot of that stuff is fear mongering too. Like, you know, it's yeah. I don't know if I don't know if I know what that means. Oh, this is not sure. Oh, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's definitely yeah, there's definitely some vices there that are more readily available than here. But here's the thing, like honestly, when I'm there, I see less people destitute because of those vices, which is crazy. Um, in America, where a lot of those vices aren't as easily accessible or more taboo, every day, you can walk down the street almost and see in any major city and see, dozens, if not more, of people who've succumbed to them. In Thailand, where a lot of those things are a lot more accessible and like nobody cares, honestly, the people I saw that were typically screwed up were like, yeah, the Westerners. Maybe that's to your point, but there weren't a lot. There weren't a lot. Definitely like the locals. Every now and then you see some, but like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it seems worse over here, even though over there they're a lot more like, do what you want, long as it's not drugs, do what you want. Um, but like, I mean, it's kind of on you. You know what I mean? If you're a grown man or woman, you know, it's on you if you go to another country and blow all your money and go crazy over a vice. Like, and honestly, if you're gonna do that, I don't think watching a video is gonna stop you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that's more a personal problem than a Thailand problem. You know, like you know, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Angela coming back. Ricky, I kind of do. I don't do the affirmations from a standpoint of I just say it over and over and over and over again aloud. But there's some things I like if I'm talking to somebody. For example, I'm going to live in Loveland one day. I just say that a lot. Whenever I'm talking about Colorado or something, I'm like, I'm gonna live in Loveland one day. I know I'm going to. There's certain things that I want to like. I'll say occasionally, like when I have my collectibles business, because I'm gonna have one. So I don't do the stand in front of the mirror and say things over and over and over and over and over and over again, but I just say them kind of in conversation, conversationally. I'll just say things that I'm gonna do one day, and they end up happening. So I don't think the American dream and the rat race are the same thing. The American dream isn't bad. The reason we had the American dream because it's like it's pretty cool. The problem is like it's not attainable or it's not as easily attainable as it used to be. So like the American dream isn't a bad thing. The rat race is, but the American dream is actually a good thing. That's why to this day people are still trying to come here to achieve it. It's a good thing. It's just not as easy to achieve anymore. Really, what did Bitcoin get up to now? Let's see. Curious. I don't know. Let's see. Curious. Curiouser and curiouser. If my phone would stop acting up. What is my phone doing? Ooh, 109. When Bitcoin hits 250,000, All of us are gonna be like, man, we should have bought when it was 100,000. What up, David? How you doing? That's all I'm saying. What up, Danny? And yeah, Ricky, if the app them that way, do it, please. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to do it. Um, some people like to tell you there is a right way, or a wrong way. I don't agree with that. But yeah, there's no right or wrong way. I just think whatever works for you, it's cool. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna jump off. Been going for a couple hours, 2.5 hours. Think that's great. I'm gonna jump off. Got some other things I want to do. Maybe make some phone calls. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Big shout out to the Super Chat Squad. I appreciate the financial abundance. Thank you. The prosperity. Thank you. Really helps to keep going. So thank you. Shout out to the lurkers, the thumbs uppers, everyone in the community, new people, old people, usual suspects. Angela, world's best moderator. Everybody who came through. I appreciate y'all being a part of the community and taking time out of your day to spend it with me and everyone else. So I appreciate that. I love y'all. We'll talk again soon.